I would like to first and foremost surrender our dealings of the day in the hands of Almighty Allah. So for that, I would like to invite the DPN and the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning I would like to invite for the opening prayer, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, to please help us with opening prayers.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سيدنا على النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم. لا إله إلا الله وحده القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم سبحان الله رب العرش العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين. أسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزيمي مغفراتك والغنيمة من كل بر والسلامة من كل إثم لا تدع لي ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا حاجة هي لك رضا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين وكل دفعتها. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Muna roƙon Allah wannan program da muke yi mu samu nasarar shi kuma Allah ya sa mai girma gwamna alheri da ya kawo mana wannan program zuwa garin nan kuma Allah ya ba mu nasara.
May Allah answer our prayers. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, Honorable Gidado Bello Kaleo. Your Excellency, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, may I at this juncture invite to the podium our host, the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, who doubles as the Chairman, Kebbi State CARES Steering Committee, to come forward for a welcome address. Sir, you are most welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, the Task Team Leader for the World Bank CARES Program, Professor Folusho Okumadewa, Mr. Aso Vakwarai, Chairman, Federal CARES Technical Committee, okay. The Acting Head of Service, Honorable Commissioners, the representative of the Commissioner of Police, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It was in March 2020 that Nigeria joined the rest of the world to enter a lockdown. Lockdown had a significant impact on economic activity, not just on the world, but Nigeria and by extension, Kebbi State. For an agrarian state like Kebbi, with hundreds of thousands of smallholder farmers, this was a nightmare scenario. We entered the lockdown not knowing how long it would last. Just like many other economies, we also entered a predicted recession. We did not know how deep that would be, nor how soon we would exit it. I've taken time to remind us of this brief history to help us realize how far we have come since COVID-19 entered our lives. Today, face masks are normal even in banking halls. Virtual meetings have replaced traditional gatherings. Working from home is the new norm. While the middle class and this slightly better off of society have adjusted to COVID-19 and its economic consequences, there still remains a strata of society which must be supported to adapt and, even more importantly, recover from the economic impacts of COVID-19. Indeed, monetary authorities around the world in response to COVID-19 were forced to implement stimulus packages with attendant impacts of inflation that have hit the lowest strata of society very hard. Food security is threatened just as small businesses in our midst are grappling with impacts of inflation and the devaluation of the naira. It is as a result of these realizations that the COVID Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program was born. The $750 million national program for results that translates to 20 million naira emergency intervention for each state. These interventions are spread across 3 areas of SME support, food security, and livelihood support. For the past 2 years, the Kebbi State government, in collaboration with the World Bank and Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, have worked hard to design and put in place a program for results that allows the states to bring succor and relief to its people and businesses through these 3 intervention areas that I mentioned. Mistakenly, the World Bank and the Federal Ministry of Finance have spent months negotiating and putting in place a program that is fit for purpose. Program fit for the times we find ourselves in. In addition, the Kebbi State government, under the leadership of Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, has worked hard and provided all the requirements needed to ensure that the CARES program has a smooth takeoff. Indeed, it will be a great disservice for me to leave this podium without acknowledging the efforts of His Excellency Senator Atiku Bagudu, providing all the support required for Kebbi to meet the eligibility criteria for participation in the CARES program. Indeed, there is nothing that the Kebbi CARES team requested that they did not get. We are here launching this program because of the unwavering support of the Kebbi State government to ensure that the neediest of society get the relevant and timely support they need to cushion the effects of the COVID pandemic. He committed an additional 5 billion naira of state resources to the CARES program to bolster the 900 million naira advance the state got from the World Bank. That's a whopping 5-to-1 ratio of state resources to the World Bank advance. I dare say that no other state in Nigeria has committed such a quantum of resources to the CARES program. In the same light, I must acknowledge the efforts of the World Bank team led by Professor Folusho Okumadewa. I doubt there's any state that Prof will go to in Nigeria today where he will not be made an honorary citizen. Through hours of argument, debate, virtual and physical meetings, Prof and his team have delivered a program for results for which we will look back in years to come and marvel at the impact they had on ordinary people's lives. I must also acknowledge Mr. Aso Vakwarai, the chair of the Federal CARES technical team, who, like Prof, has worked assiduously on the federal government side to ensure that the CARES program has been delivered. Indeed, it is worthy of commendation for us, and we must acknowledge the World Bank and the Federal CARES team because they have also done us a high honor by attending our CARES program launch. I conclude by saying that indeed the World Bank cares, the federal government of Nigeria cares, and more importantly, the government of Kebbi cares. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, and the State Chairman, CARES Steering Committee. Your Excellency, before we proceed to the next item of our agenda, I would like to seize this opportunity to introduce our guests and stakeholders who have been partners in the success of this program. I would like to start with the World Bank Nigeria CARES Task Force Team Leader, Professor Folusho Okumadewa. Sir, you are most welcome to the line of equity. Also in his entourage is Professor Suleiman Yusuf Sir, you are most welcome. Together with them from the World Bank is Hajia Fatima Sadiq. I would like to welcome you warmly to Kebbi State. Also in the team is Mr. Steve from Federal Ministry of Finance. Sir, I would like to heartily welcome you to Kebbi State. So, not forgetting Dr. Aso Bakporai, the chairman, Federal Cares Technical Committee. So, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of our very prominent and personalities who have been partners in the success of this program. May I at this juncture seize this opportunity to invite for the overview of Nigeria Cares program, the Kebbi State Coordinator, Hajia Rukaya Muhammad Bawa.
Your Excellency, please permit me to observe the existing protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm here to give you an overview of the Kebbi State COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus, NGCARES. NGCARES is a 2-year World Bank emergency program. It is a $750 million program. Each state will get a nominal allocation of $20 million. President Muhammadu Buhari promised to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty in 10 years, and NGCARES is one of the strategic actions taken to achieve this presidential mandate. NGCARES, being an emergency program, requires a rapid response. That is why it is designed to use already existing programs, FADAMA, CSDA, SME, state cash transfer for implementation. NGCARES is built on 3 results areas and 11 disbursement linked indicators. For Kebbi State, we are doing 9 disbursement linked indicators. The 3 results areas are, these are the CARES element that I mentioned earlier, 2 years World Bank emergency intervention using as already existing project built on 3 results areas and 11 DLIs, and it is a P4R. The 3 results areas are basic social transfers, basic services, and livelihood support to the poor and vulnerable household. This results area is going to be implemented by the CSDA and the state cash transfer. And number 2, we have increasing food security and increasing food security and safe functioning of food supply chains for poor households. And then number 3, we have facilitating recovery and enhancing the capabilities of the small and medium enterprises. This is going to be implemented by the SME unit. The disbursement linked indicators I mentioned earlier are the subcomponents whose achievement trigger disbursement of funds from the World Bank to the states. The program is a P4R. It means you have to provide results before you get funds from the World Bank. And these are the 11 DLIs. Number 1, we have social cash transfer. This is going to be implemented by the state cash transfer unit. And Kebbi State allocated $2 million. And our targeted beneficiaries are 1,950 beneficiaries. And number 2, we have livelihood grants. These are one-off grants given to households. It's going to be implemented by CSDA. Kebbi State allocated $2 million, and our targeted beneficiaries are 1,950. And number 3, we have community and vulnerable groups. This is the provision of basic services in the sectors of health, education, and sanitation. This is going to be implemented by CSDA. We allocated $2 million, and our targeted beneficiaries are 26,000. And then number 4, we have agricultural inputs and services. This is the provision of agricultural inputs to farmers. FADAMA is going to implement. We allocated $3 million. Our targeted beneficiaries are 8,357. And then we have provision of improved agricultural infrastructure. This is going to be implemented also by FADAMA. And we allocated $2 million, and our targeted beneficiaries are 4,588. We have agricultural assets for production, for food production. This is going to help improve, increase food production and mitigate food loss. This is going to be implemented by FADAMA, $3 million. Targeted beneficiaries are 9,750. And upgrading of wet markets. We are going to upgrade our wet market by providing toilets, water. This is going to be implemented by FADAMA. We allocated $2 million, and our targeted wet markets are 78 around the state. And then we have conditional grants for support of loans. This is to help SMEs that have taken loan after the hit of COVID-19. We allocated $1 million, and our targeted firms are 514. Then we have operational grants to help people with small and medium enterprises. SME is going to implement under Ministry of Commerce. We allocated $3 million, and our targeted beneficiaries are 1,078. Next slide. Yes, this is an overview of NGK's program in Kebbi State. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, the State Coordinator, Haja Rukaya Muhammad Bawa, for that very elaborate, overview. Your Excellency, it is now time to take goodwill messages from our partners. First, I would like to invite the Chairman, Community and Social Development Agency, to come forward for a goodwill message. Remote.
Oh, okay. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kebbi State, retired Colonel Samaila Yombedabai, members of the Kebbi State House of Assembly, members of the State Executive Council, Your Royal Highnesses, the emirs of Gondu, Argungu, Yauri, and Zuru, our distinguished guests from the World Bank and Federal Team, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, let me start by congratulating His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, for his unalloyed support to the NKS program in Kebbi State, as a result of which today we are here witnessing a statewide program launch, which marks the beginning of the program implementation in the state. We, as members of the Kebbi State CARES Steering Committee, are well aware of the huge sums of money or financial investment which His Excellency has made to ensure smooth and successful takeoff of the program in the state, right from the preparatory stages a year ago. We thank you, Your Excellency, the Governor. I would also like to appreciate His Excellency for selecting the Kebbi State Community and Social Development Agency, CSDA, which I am the board chairman there, as one of the delivery platforms for the implementation of CARES program in the state. Your Excellency, CSDA has been known by both the World Bank and the state as one of the best platforms for delivering results, and with its highly qualified, experienced and dedicated staff, I assure His Excellency that you have not made a wrong choice in choosing CSDA, because CSDA will deliver in full all the expected results according to set rules and guidelines as contained in the state operational manual. The CSDA is going to implement 2 disbursement linked indicators. DLIs 1.3 and 1.4. 1.3 is livelihood support grant, which will be given to economically active youth and women who are engaged in informal household enterprises as support towards improving their economic conditions and general well-being of their households. Whereas DLI 1.4 is increasing access to basic services, which mainly deals with provision of basic infrastructural services in areas of health, water, and education to the poorest of the poor communities across the state. Taking this in reversal form, education, we know, is the bedrock to development. No good education, no good employment, so no good pay. And so what happens? Possibly hunger and starvation at a stage. But very good education will fetch you a very good job. Very good job will fetch you very good pay. Very good pay will give you the basics you would want in life. And expected good life, long life, and prosperity, depending on the situation. Water, as we know, 75 to 85% of the diseases we have are water or water related. So provision of potable water is meant specifically to reduce the burden of disease on those communities where we are to give these services. Lastly, health. Health here, without health, productivity is virtually zero. If you are not healthy, you can do nothing. I'm sure everybody knows that. And that is why the involvement of the Kebbi State government to make sure that these 3 parameters or sectors are taken seriously and handled well. While Your Excellency have declared the program effective in the state, all machineries has been set, and in fact, our staff have gone already far with beneficiaries engagement to ensure right beneficiaries are selected for the program, and the agency shall deliver with full results in all the 2 DLIs within its mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, Your Excellency, on behalf of management and staff of Kebbi State CSDA, I would like to thank you more for the passion you have in the welfare of ordinary citizens in the state. This was clearly demonstrated in all your actions in the provision of various poverty reduction interventions across all sectors of human development in the state. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide us collectively and protect us in all its ramifications. Amen. May Allah bring peace and tranquility in Kebbi State and Nigeria in general. Thank you very much.
Please let's put our hands together once again for the chairman, Community and Social Development Agency, Dr. Ayuba D. Umar. Next, I would like to call for another goodwill message. The Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, Hajia Aisha Muhammad Kurata.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sallallahu ala Nabil Karim. Your Excellency, the Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Abakar Atiku Bagudu, ably represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Babale Umar. Your Excellency, kindly permit me to stand on all the already established order of protocol to make this few goodwill message. I am glad to be here today for this remarkable program. The economic and social effect of the coronavirus pandemic and the country is yet to recover from it. Kebbi COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus Program, known as Kebbi Cares, is a program that seeks to respond to the humanitarian crisis caused by this COVID-19 pandemic. It is important to commend the state government under the leadership of His Excellency Senator Abakar Atiku Bagudu for strengthening democracy and delivering good governance to the good people of Kebbi State. The governor's excellent leadership has helped the state to establish partnership with the federal government as well as national and international organizations to further boost the people's well-being and general economy of the state. A few weeks ago, the governor launched the grand disbursement of Nigerian Women Project for the teeming number of women in Argungu, Mayama, and Ingaski local government area to benefit. The project targets the economic empowerment of 54,000 women across the implementing communities. This is a massive development, and it is further testimony of our governor's hard work, integrity, and competence to transform the Kebbi State. The state government is partnering with the federal government and World Bank to implement Kebbi Cares and expand access to livelihood support and food security services and grant for poor and vulnerable households and firms. The Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development is concerned about the increasing challenges faced by people living with physical disabilities and poor children across the state. I am soliciting the attention of the CARES to address the socio-economic challenges faced by these vulnerable groups. As we launch the implementation of Kebbi Cares, I urge all of us as stakeholders to share key learnings and experience from our various ministries, agencies, and departments to enrich the project and fast track the achievement of its developmental goals and objectives. I wish us the best success. God bless Kebbi State. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Hajia Aisha Muhammad Kurata, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development. Next, we are going to take another goodwill message, this time around from the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Commerce and Industry here in Kebbi State, Honorable Garba Ibrahim Geza.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. His Excellency Executive Governor of Kebbi State, ably represented by the SSG, Alhaji Babale Umar Yauri Fagachin Yauri, the tax team leader of the World Bank and his entourage, honorable commissioners here present, a representative of the Chief Judge, representative of the Commissioner of Police, all permanent secretaries here present, local government chairmen, advisors, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. As we are all aware, the COVID-19 pandemic had its devastating effect worldwide, Nigeria inclusive, ravaging our lives and the economy, which call for immediate intervention to save our lives and the economy from total collapse. We must thank the World Bank, the federal and the state government for their immediate intervention with the Nigerian COVID-19 Action Recovery and the Economic Stimulus NGKS program. The micro, small, and the medium enterprise sector is a major contributor to the Nigerian economy, contributing up to 50% of Nigerian gross domestic product, GDP, and about 85% to employment of about 140 to 160 million people in the countries was badly hit by this pandemic. Result Area 3, as one of the area of intervention in the CARES program, is to be delivered by SMEs unit by the Ministry of Commerce and Industries to facilitate the recovery and enhance capabilities of SMEs in the state. The result Area 3 shall provide credit grant to ease financial constraints to SMEs, as well as operational grant to employment and the jobs creation. This intervention to SMEs on result Area 3 are targeted to provide grants to SMEs to cushion this effect of COVID-19 pandemic by co-finance of up to 40% of qualified loans by financial institutions, and also provide opportunities, grant to support operational expenditure to incentivize employment retention, including salaries. I want to hereby call all the SMCs in the state to see this grant as an opportunity that is to be used wisely to achieve these ends to cushion the effect of the pandemic. We must once again thank the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, led by Senator Atiku Abubakar Bagudu, for his continued effort in the development of the SMEs sectors of the state. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Commerce, for that goodwill message. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me at this juncture seize this opportunity to heartily welcome the representative of the Emir of Gondo and the Chairman Council of Chiefs, Kebbi State, Alhaji General Muhammadu Ilyasu Bashar, who is ably represented today by the Ian Gwandu Alhaji Ibrahim Abdullahi. Sir, you are most welcome to this occasion. I would also like to welcome the APC, State APC Chapter Deputy Chairman Alhaji Mudi Augi. Sir, you are welcome to this occasion. And next, I would like to quickly invite for another goodwill message the Honorable Commissioner in the Ministry of Agriculture, Alhaji Megari Abdullahi Upandoa Kingondo. It's time for your goodwill message.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. His Excellency, the Governor, Kebbi State, distinguished Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, ably represented by Alhaji Babale Umar Yawuri, MNI, the Secretary to the State, Kebbi State Government, Honorable Commissioners, members of the State Executive Council, of course, the powerful team from the National Coordinating Office of Young Cares, representative of His Royal Highness, Chairman of local governments, area sole administrators of area councils, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I remain the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture. One of the portions of implementation by the NCAS, which is the agricultural component, falls under my ministry. As this result area will focus on increasing food security and the safe function of food supply chains for poor and vulnerable households. Its aims is to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on food security and to facilitate the safe functioning of food supply chains. In particular, under this result area, 4 disbursement linked indicators will be addressed as follows. These are DLI 121, distribution of inputs, mechanization and service provision. DLI 122, improvement of agricultural infrastructures. And the third one, farm agricultural assets, both on and off farm. And then last but not the least, food supply chains and mitigating food loss in the West. This is disbursement linked indicator supporting the poor and the vulnerable to increase food production, to support groups such as small scale farmers to access various inputs and services for crops, that is rice, such as rice, sorghum, millet, maize, cassava, bambara nuts, Hungary rice, commonly known as acha, tomato, onion, etc., and the livestock, small remnants production. This will involve distribution of improved seeds, fertilizers, herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, and livestock inputs, which include poultry and the fishery, seed multiplication, delivery of extension and advisory services, and the provision of mechanization services. The extension and the advisory will deliver climate smart agriculture practices in farm operations to include productivity and enhance resilience to impacts of climate change and variability. Reduce greenhouse gas emissions through proper management of agricultural waste. There will also be participatory identification of the poor and the vulnerable to select beneficiaries for individual activities, including both women, youth, and the aged. DLI 122 will support the rehabilitation of improvement of agricultural infrastructure to lay the foundations for recovery of agricultural production while creating short-term jobs in rural areas. This will involve the improvement, rehabilitation of existing tertiary irrigation canals, feeder roads, and the soil conservation. The various soil conservation measures will help reduce soil erosion, improve soil quality, increase soil water infiltration, and to conserve soil moisture for better agricultural productivity. DLI 123, provision of agricultural assets for production and the mitigation of food loss in the West. Under this activity, the program will provide farmers with agricultural assets to increase capacity for food production and the small-scale primary processing to mitigate food loss in the West. This will involve the provision of assets and the equipment and training on operation and the maintenance. There will be participatory identification of the poor and the vulnerable to select beneficiaries for individual activities, including women and the youth. Some of the assets to be supported include water pumps, motorized sprayers, power tillers, combined harvesters, rice milling machines, grinding machines, groundnut oil extraction machines, sorghum threshers, millet threshers, sheep and the goats, etc. The disbursement link indicator will upgrade wet markets, that's DLL24, involving the upgrading of water and sanitation infrastructure in existing wet markets, or portion of markets that is considered to be wet and with wet-related activities. Under these activities, the program will mainly support improvements in water and sanitation services in existing wet markets to reduce the risk of COVID-19 spread in the marketplaces. The support will include connecting water supply to various points in the markets, including toilets and the entrances, establishment of boreholes and overhead tanks, upgrading drainage system, provision of fumigation water treatment services, reticulation and the waste management and disposal points, and the construction of BIP toilets for male and the female. Anyway, even though the Kebbi State Care Coordinator has already mentioned all this, distribution of input to services with targeted farmers, I think she has already highlighted them, 8,357. Improve agricultural infrastructure, 4,000. These are targeted beneficiaries, already highlighted. These are the participating local governments under our portion. This is Aleru, Augi Argungu area Bagudu Binike Bunzada, Danko Sagu Fakai, Gwandu, Jega Kalgu Koko Besi Mayama, and Gaski Sakaba, Shanga Suruya Uriguru. I think on this note, I will also join my colleagues in thanking and congratulating His Excellency, the Governor of Kebbi State, distinguished Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, for this giant strides. I think he should be commended for this, for bringing these agencies into Kebbi State that will surely touch the lives of so many people in this state. So many of these activities will benefit and transform Kebbi State and lift it to high standards in economy, and it also invariably lift the state of Nigeria as a whole. I think on this note, I thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Obando Akingwando, the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Agriculture, for that goodwill message. And next, I would like to invite to the podium for another goodwill message from a very important stakeholder in this program. In fact, I would like to invite Dr. Aso Bakpurai, the Chairman, Plural Cares Technical Committee, to come forward for a goodwill message. Sir, you are most welcome.
God bless you. Your Excellency, the Governor of Kebbi State, Alhaji Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, the Deputy Governor, members of the State Legislature, members of the State Executive Council, my boss from the World Bank, I'm from the Federal, but I have a boss from the World Bank, our only professor in Africa, Professor Felicia Okumadewa. I call him the only professor because he has passion to turn situation in this country around. by helping us to talk to World Bank to say, support these people. And they have been supporting us. We can applaud him. The permanent secretary, ministry, Kebbi State Ministry of Budget and Planning, very hardworking, astute woman. The coordinator of NG Cares in Kebbi. And let me tell you, it's no longer NG Cares in Kebbi, it's Kebbi Cares. I stand on the, permit me, Your Excellencies, to stand on the existing protocol as I tell the pressmen, you are welcome. Let me go straight to my small message, goodwill message to every one of us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great delight and pleasure to be in your midst on this special occasion of Kebbi Cares program. The launch, particularly, of the Kebbi State COVID-19 Action, Recovery and Economic Stimulus, which we have, those long grammar, we decide to remove it and call it CARES, so that it will touch everybody. Not only the state domesticating it, but every family, every home, every local government, every school, wherever, domesticating this program. Because at the time we reduce it and make it cares, and we care for one another, there won't be room for a pandemic again by the special grace of God. Because the message that followed the issue of the pandemic, some people call it prophecy, but it was a bad message that people will be dying and they'll be picking dead bodies on the streets of Africa. Of course, Birin Kebbi is one of the streets, one of the places in Africa. Abuja and all the states, they're all part of it. That was the expectation, but it never happened, and it will not happen. The pandemic was health-related, it was medical, but if it was not addressed properly, it would become economic. And we saw that one. And the federal government, I give kudos to the federal government and even Kebbi State government, they went to start discussing with the World Bank, and World Bank said, we will assist you people. I want us to clap for the World Bank. So they assisted us, but we have gotten to a point where we should take it and own it. And that is why I'm very, very happy that Kebbi State, the governor has approved that Kebbi State should carry out this launch. Is apart from, let's say, using the word commencing the program, it is a kind of sensitization to let everybody know that indeed Kebbi cares. That indeed the executive governor, Bagudu, cares. And not only that, everyone in the executive council cares. The emirs care. You care, and you care in your family. So I want you to give yourself an applause and take this message to your family. Because caring for one another will not give room for any untoward thing to happen. We did not die when the COVID was at the height, and we will not die now. So God will protect you and preserve you. Let me use the opportunity to bring my felicitation from my bosses. I have bosses, the Minister of Finance and National Budget and National Planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed, and Prince Clem Agba, the Minister of State. They are my bosses. And they have been working with the World Bank. The World Bank have been supportive in so many areas. And it took us some time. We packaged this one together. And you know, when you cook good food, everybody will enjoy it. I want to tell you, Kebbi people, Kebbi Cares is a well-packaged program. And I say everybody will enjoy it. Because it's got one undertone, one singular undertone. And that is kicking out poverty out of Kebbi. For Kebbi, kicking out poverty out of Kebbi. Then for Nigeria as a whole, kicking out poverty out of Nigeria. We have two legs, and we are going to use our two legs to kick out poverty in all ramifications. Because before the COVID came, the economy was dancing akwete. God, forgive me for using that word. The economy was dancing here and there. Then COVID came, added to it more problems. But we thank God today, those things are rolling away gradually. And with the coming of NG Cares to pump in $750 million US into the economy, with Kebbi having their own chunk of it, $20 million, something will happen. Help me tell the person by your side, say something will happen to poverty. We will pursue poverty out of Nigeria. And that is the essence of what we are doing today. And I want to thank the governor, sincerely thank the governor. He has been supporting. I was just told now that he gave 5 million. But I want to, like Oliver, the one when we read in literature, Oliver asked for more. I want to ask for more. Billion, good. 5 billion naira. I want to implore, thank God his representative is here. And Honorable Commissioner, sir, chairman of the steering committee, help us pass this message. We want more investment in NG Cares. Pump more money into it. It is for the people. It will change the life of the people. It will remove all kinds of, let me use this colloquial word, all kinds of yama from Kebbi. And indeed it will go. And we will all enjoy it. And God will be happy with every one of us. That is the truth. So as you tell the governor, I use the opportunity again to tell everyone that is operating the Kebbi Cares here that we are the federal, and I know the World Bank is solidly behind us in that respect. We are putting up everything, working day and night to make sure that this program is a success. As I'm talking to you now, there are people undertaking course on monitoring and evaluation concerning this program. As we are here now, there are some people in Abuja, there are some people in Ibadan undergoing that course so that it will be a success. The reason is this is not just a usual World Bank program. Usual one, say, World Bank program has come. No, this is not that type. This one is P for R. You show your result. We have done this, we have done that, we have spent this money, we have spent that money, and every single kobo that have been spent on the people will be refunded adequately. No kobo will be held back. So the more you spend, and we'll look and say $20 million, which is plenty money. I tell you, if you follow the procedure, if one is not careful, that money will not be spent. All the money will not be spent. And we don't want any kobo to go back to the World Bank. Every single dollar put in this program will be spent. And I'm sure Kebbi people are ready. Is Kebbi ready? So we will spend it. No kobo will go back. And the executive governor will add more money so that Kebbi will become a very fine place. When I came, I saw the place, and this is my second time of coming to Kebbi. I saw Kebbi is a beautiful place. and I saw that Kebbi people are very, very hospitable. God will bless you. With that, I want to tell you if there's any single challenge, the operators here, the steering committee, the coordinator, if there's any single challenge you have, don't hesitate to get across quickly to the federal. As chairman of the Federal Case Technical Committee, we have a secretariat under an amiable, well-suited, how will I call it now? A round peg in a round hole. One, Dr. Obaje is the national coordinator. We work day and night to make sure that this 24 months program, and that's another unique thing about this program, is just for 24 months. So for Kebbi to spend $20 million in 24 months, we need to put extra effort. So I implore the Kebbi Cares people to make sure that every effort is put. All the DLIs must be accomplished. All the targets must be accomplished. Thank you very much, and help us greet the governor as I greet you, that God will bless you very well.
Please, let's put our hands together once again for Dr. Aso Bakpraya. If we are to allow him, he will continue for the next 2 or 3 hours because he has a lot to tell us. Thank you very much for that goodwill message. Let me quickly acknowledge the presence of some of our very important stakeholders at this occasion. The delegate from the Fadama 3, I would like to heartily welcome you to this occasion. Not forgetting CSDP, cash transfer, SME, and other partners here with us. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me crave your indulgence at this point in time to listen attentively as I invite to the podium for a storyline presentation by the NG Kia tax team leader, Professor Foluso Okumadewa. So you are most welcome.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor, Kebbi State, ably represented by the SSG, Honorable Commissioners here present, and particularly my friend, the Chairman of the State Care Steering Committee, other officials of the state government here present, emirs and representative of emirs here present, Dr. Aso Vakporaye, the Chairman, Federal Cares Technical Committee, representative of the Ministry of Finance, the borrower, Mr. Steve O'Hare, who is also the Deputy Director in IARD, colleagues from the World Bank, eminent ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. I bring you greetings from the World Bank. I also want to quickly express special condolence on behalf of the World Bank on the Kaduna incident. The World Bank is particularly delighted to be in this project launch We really appreciate the state government. We especially congratulate the state governor. And in fact, that explains why I am here in person. Because I think on NG Cares, the state is taking a leading position among all states. And this is a position that we in the bank wants to confirm and support and use that to encourage other states. Because on NG Cares, as of today, there is a very important need to accelerate action. And His Excellency, Senator Atiku Abubakar Bagudu, made a special pledge to me, which I had relayed to the country director and which the World Bank is aware of, that he would lead the effort to make sure that all states of the Federation utilize the opportunity of the NG Cares to help change the welfare situations of Nigerians that are currently in a very, very dire state. And this is why we are really very happy with the governor, and we congratulate the people of Kebbi State for this leading role that His Excellency has taken, and we pledge our support. Permit me to say a few words about NG Cares in Nigeria, as has been requested. I will also reiterate some of the key features and the expectations of NG Cares, and particularly in Kebbi State, and then offer some advice, as I usually do, and my friend Cargo would confirm, particularly for those who are saddled with responsibility of delivering on this operation. We've heard from the honorable commissioners, the permanent secretaries, the chairmen, and the heads of the delivery units. It is important that the people of Kebbi State enjoy the special provision of NG Cares, particularly given the renowned effort of Senator Bagudu. While we can say that Nigeria cares, Kebbi cares, I think it is right to also say Bagudu cares. NG Cares and emergency operations, as you have been told, which is to support the state government effort to respond to and recover from the COVID-induced socioeconomic crisis. So it is expected to increase social transfers, increase social services, increase livelihood support to the poor and vulnerable. It's also expected to increase food security and safe functioning of food supply chains, which I think is very, very important in Kebbi State. And of course, it is expected to facilitate the recovery and the financing capabilities of micro and small enterprises, what we call the local economy. So it has 3 result areas, as my sister had indicated. And these 3 result areas is what the World Bank is funding through the federal government in all 36 states and FCT in Nigeria. It is funding it on a result-based approach. The emphasis is that each of the states and FCT will deliver results and the World Bank will deliver resources. The total outlay, as you have heard, is $750 million of which 735 million has been divided to all 36 states and FCT, and 15 million has been given to the federal for coordinating, monitoring, and reporting. It was approved by the World Bank Board in December 2020 and approved also by the federal government and the National Assembly in April 2021. It became effective in September 2021 at the federal level, and all states and FCT met the eligibility and disbursement clearance condition in January 2022. So a total of $35.3 billion has been disbursed as advance to all 36 states and FCT, ranging from 500 million to 1.3 billion per state in February 2020. Kebbi received 900 million. But as you have heard, the governor has indicated that he is going to match that immediately with 5 billion naira. This is unprecedented. No state has done that in Nigeria. That is very important because even the needs now in Kebbi alone is clearly more than 5 billion. The amount of people who need assistance in all these three areas, not to talk of all the other areas, is clearly more than $5.9 billion. But this is just the beginning. Because as the state delivery units who have all come forward today to pledge that they will do their best, as they deliver the results, then additional disbursement will take place. And the strategy of His Excellency, by putting 5 billion at this stage, is to make sure that all the targets that my sister has mentioned can be achieved even before the end of the year, and which might even help Kebbi State to utilize more than $20 million. The state has chosen 9 DLIs, which was a very modest choice in strategic area, and therefore the state is in total control. Unlike other projects, this is a project where the state will use its own system, its own structure, without running to anybody for any no objection, and deliver the results. And that was why the state was flexible to pick the specific areas where it already has delivery units, where it already has the various structures that will help to achieve this. Funding will be through the state's budget process. And so I was very glad today when I saw the Accountant General of the state in attendance. And when he looked at me and smiled and promised that money will be released immediately, my heart gladdened. Having been in the business of development in Nigeria for quite some time, I know the difference between budgeted, approved, release, and cash back. With Accountant General, it is cash back. So I believe that with the good relationship between Cargo and the Accountant General that I saw this morning, all the delivery units will receive their money promptly and they will deliver the results. So it is not a case of the project receiving money from a dedicated account directly from the World Bank. No, the money goes into the state treasury and the state provides the assistance. So it's a support to the state. The federal agencies and the World Bank are only providing technical assistance, providing advice. And just like the chairman of FCT had said, the state should feel free to confer with the federal, confer with the borrower, confer with the World Bank, should they have any challenges. Independent verification agents, highly reputed international agents, are the ones that are going to come around in the next 6 months and check what has been achieved with clear guidelines. And it is based on these checks and reports that the state will receive the next disbursement. So it is clear that each state, and particularly in Kebbi State, we have to stick to the guidelines. We have to stick to what has been agreed, and on that basis, we should be able to get the next disbursement and make His Excellency proud. When we discussed this in Abuja, His Excellency was particularly strong about the food supply chain. He was very strong about food security. He made it clear to me, and of course I had known, that Kebbi State is leading in Nigeria today on agricultural revolution. And therefore, that component of NG Cares is where he would also like to see a lot of effort. And I want to believe that the reason that the Commissioner of Agriculture was very, very happy to be here this morning is because he is going to receive a big boost and is going to deliver exceedingly on this. Let me say that Kebbi State preparation and participation in this operation has been very encouraging. We look forward to supporting the state, particularly as it accelerates implementation and help other states to accelerate implementation, given that the size of the resources is large, but the time for implementation is short. So let me offer two advice, some of which I have already mentioned. One, the state should ensure quick release of funding to the delivery unit and the coordinating unit so that the operations can deliver enough results in the next 6 months and subsequently, so that disbursement can follow smoothly. Two, the state should strengthen the capability of the staff and the system in the various delivery units to ensure that the set periodic targets are met. Staff motivation, staff incentives, the possibility of productivity allowance is also advised. If you are going to be asking staff to deliver these targets at jet speed, 24/7, they need to be encouraged. Things are very tight for everyone. If people are going to put effort to make sure that these results are achieved and the poor and vulnerable are reached, we need to put some carrots behind them, even if we are also going to be talking of stick in terms of the targets. Finally, Kebbi State should not treat NG Cares as another project. It's a support operation. It is operating within the existing state structure and system. It is to help the state to build and integrate a shock responsive mechanism that can be activated as the need arises. Please note always, as we have always done, that the World Bank is committed to supporting the state government to eradicate poverty in a sustainable manner. Once again, I am very happy to be here. The last time I was here was more than 10 years ago in CSDP, and I'm very, very glad that I see a beautiful and progressing state. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, let's put our hands together once again for prop. Your Excellency, we had it all from Professor Foluso Okumadewa about what the program is all about. So I would like at this point in time to enjoin you all to please listen attentively as I invite to the podium for the His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi State, Senator Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, who is ably represented by the Secretary to Kebbi State Government, Alhaji Babale Umar MNI, the Fagachi Yauri, and the only Fagachi.
Sit down. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. The representative of the Chief Judge, the task team leader, able Professor Foluso Okumadewa and his team, honorable commissioners and members of the State Executive Council, acting head of civil service, permanent secretaries, representative of the Emir of Gondu, representative of the Commissioner of Police, chairman of boards and commission, other distinguished visitors to the state for this program, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I have to tender the unreserved apology of His Excellency for not attending this program, though it's a program that he cherished and it's a program that he believes that a lot can be achieved by the state. He had intended to be here. Unfortunately, he's leading a team to Kaduna to commiserate and condole the families of those that lost their lives in this unfortunate carnage by those people who don't know what is humanity. But he asked me to inform you that he's here in spirit and he will continue to assist and make sure that cares program in Kebbi is maximally achieved and maximally utilized. His speech is as follows. The impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the economy of the country and Kebbi State need not be overemphasized. We saw global economies enter recessions and all over the world. Recovery is just beginning. This makes the CARES program not only timely, but essential. The CARES program, which is a loan to the state government, approved by the House of Assembly as part of our 2022 spending plans, has been carefully designed to ensure maximum impact across the areas of intervention. We remain resolute and committed to livelihood support, SMC support, and maintaining food security. Let me continue by commending the efforts of the World Bank and the Federal CARES technical team for taking time to be here, despite what I know to be their several engagements and busy schedules. 2 weeks ago, we received here in Kebbi World Bank team for the hybrid implementation support mission to enhance the capacity and further widen the institutional arrangement of the NG CARES, and Kebbi State successfully hosted the
northwestern states comprising Sokoto, Zamfara, Kano, Jigawa, and Katsina. His Excellency had the privilege of also receiving the tax team leader, Professor Okuma Dewa, as the Kebbi State Governor's Lodge to discuss further the modalities under which the CARES program would operate. During that meeting, he committed the TTL that the state government will inject additional resources of up to 5 billion naira to ensure the success of the CARES program. By design, the CARES program is expected to run over a period of 2 years. We have a target of 28,290 across the 9 DLS. Not surprisingly, the bulk of our CARES intervention will go towards the agricultural intervention component to boost our food security and provide much needed help to smaller holder farmers. Being conscious of the team-sensitive nature of agriculture's intervention and the need for urgent intervention across all research areas, we are committed to provide the additional state resources as soon as they are requested by the delivery platforms. I would like to thank the World Bank and federal teams once again for taking time to grace this occasion with their presence. I would also like to commend the CARES team from Kebbi State for also working very hard to bring us to the point where the CARES program is being launched. I wish each and everyone who has attended this event a safe journey back home to their various destinations. May God bless all of us.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for everything. At this point in time, I would like to crave the indulgence of His Excellency to help us make a formal presentation of our Kebbi State souvenir to the World Bank team and the federal team. First, we will start with the World Bank. Bring the gift, please. Prop. Yeah. Okay.
You are supposed to open it. Prof, on behalf of the government and good people of Kebbi State, I present you this souvenir so that when you go, you put it in your bedroom so that madam and children will see and remember when you visited Kebbi State. Thank you. Thank you.
The federal team, please. Dr. Aso. Hastino, please bring that of the federal team. That of the federal team. Okay, this one for Dr. Aso.
Doctor, on behalf of the government and good people of Kebbi State, this is presented to you for your efforts in facilitating what we are here and in also encouraging the federal government to add more, not only in CARES, but in other things. Thank you.
Next is Hajia Fatima Sadiq Muhammad. Please, my apology. We're supposed to do it based on a seniority first. I would like to invite Professor Suleiman Yusuf first.
Prof, this is a gift on behalf of the government and good people of Kebbi State to you in person for your efforts in seeing us through and for also facilitating other issues in the World Bank and other places. Thank you.
Next is Haja Fatima Sadiq Muhammad, also from World Bank.
Haja, this is on behalf of the government and good people of Kebbi State for your efforts. And please greet the children and your husband when you go back. Thank you.
Now the federal team, Mr. Steve from the Federal Ministry of Finance, please.
Mr. Steve, on behalf of the government and good people of Kebbi State, I present this to you for your efforts on the Federal Ministry of Finance and for other efforts, not only in CARES, maybe in other programs, especially the federal allocation to the state. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, all of you. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we come to the end of today's program. So I would like to invite the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Haji Aishat M. Usman, to come forward for a vote of thanks on behalf of the ministry and the entire Kebbi State.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, ably represented by the Secretary to the State Government, please permit me to stand on the already established protocols. Your Excellency, I want to start by thanking God Almighty for sparing our lives and for making it possible for us to be here today and to conduct this program successfully. We pray that the Almighty will continue to protect us and guide us throughout the program period to ensure that we achieve the targeted results. Your Excellency, I also want to appreciate you so very much for the immense support given to the program right from inception to date. We appreciate all the support, Your Excellency, to the CARES program and to the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning and making it possible for us to fly. We heartily thank and appreciate the Secretary to the State Government for always supporting us in whatever endeavor. We sincerely appreciate my appreciation further goes to the tax team leader, Prof. Folusho Okumadewa, for ensuring that the NG CARES is effective and for always supporting Kebbi State and Kebbi CARES, and also for your presence at this program launch. We thank you so very much, and words are not enough to really explain or really say our appreciation. Thank you so very much, Mr. Prof. The Chairman, Federal CARES Technical Team, Mr. Aso Vakporae, we thank you so very much for your support and your boasted remarks during the goodwill message. Thank you very much, Mr. Aso. We remain grateful. We also thank the other members of the team, which are no less important, Prof. Yusuf Suleiman, Mr. Steve, and also Fatima, for being here within within a very short time. You've been in Kebbi State twice. Thank you very much for your support. We thank the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Budget, and also the Chairman of the CARES Steering Committee, and also the other distinguished invited guests, our Royal Father, the Emir of Gondu, the Chief Judge, Commissioner of Police, the different cares implementing unit, the members of the Kebbi State Executive Council here present, the permanent secretaries, and all other invited guests. We say thank you and so very much. We say thank you and God bless. We wish every one of you a safe journey back to your various destinations. Thank you, Kebbi cares, Bagudu cares. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. Hajia, thank you for that vote of thanks. Let me quickly, before we round off with a closing prayer, to acknowledge someone who has been with us since. The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Hassan Shala, you are most welcome to this occasion. And not forgetting my brother, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce, Alhaji Ahmed Yorima Dakingali. Sir, you are equally welcome to this occasion. Your Excellency, with that we come to the end of today's program. So I would like to invite for our closing prayer, the Director of Planning in the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Alhaji Abubakar Ahmad Jega.
Assalamu alaikum. Sallu ala Nabi Kareem. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Subhanakallahumma wa tabaraka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha gairuka. Allahumma inni nawaitu bis salati ala Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallama mahabbatan fihi wa shawqan ilayhi wa intisala li amrika wa tasdiqa nabiyika sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallama wa ta'ziman li qadrihi wa li kawnihi lidhalika fataqabbalaha minni bi fadlika wa ihsanika wa azin jaba qablati an qalbi wa janibika salihin. اللهم زده شرافا على شرافه الذي أعليته إذن على عزه الذي أعليته نورا على نوره الذي من خلقته على مقامه بمقامة المرسلين ودرجته في درجة النبيين واسألك رداك ورداه يا رب العالمين مع العافية الدائمة والموت على الكتاب والسنة والجماعة وكلمة الشهادة على تحقيقها من غير تبديل ولا تغيير وغفر لي ما ارتكبت فلك جودك وكرامك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم هذا الدعاء عليك إجابة وهذا الجهود عليك تقلان ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. اللهم إنك تسمع كلامي وترى مكاني وتعلم حاجاتي فأدين السؤال وتعلم ما في نفسي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. اللهم إني أسألك خير المسألة وخير الدعاء وخير النجاة وثبتني وسكن موازيني وحقق إيماني ورفع درجاتي وتقبل صلاتي وغفر خطيئتي وأسألك من الجنة آمين. اللهم إني أسألك من خير ما سألك عبدك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وأعوذ بك من فتنة المحيا والممات ومن فتنة القبر ومن فتنة المسيح الدجال وقنا عذاب النار رسول المسيح. Oh Allah, we seek for your guidance and blessings. Oh Allah, we seek for a privilege for our guests to reach their destination back safely. Wish you Allah's guidance and back to our destination safely. May Allah bless the occasion. May Allah bless the program, and may we have a successful implementation of this program. Thank you very much. God bless you all. God bless you.
Thank you very much for that all-inclusive prayer. Your Excellency, there's going to be a photograph with the World Bank and the photographer's place. Meanwhile, I would like to inform the journalists around that there is going to be a press briefing after the departure of His Excellency, together with the team leader. All journalists, please hang around. Meanwhile, photographers, please, that's enough. Please, all the honorable commissioners here. All the commissioners, please. All the commissioners, all the local government chairmen around, please join the photography. Please. Duka commissioner ne ana bukatar ku shiga hoton nan.
It's your boy Kimali, tuning with my best DJ all white, pra.